How's it going, everyone? Javita here with an exciting new patch release overview type thing. This is release 198 and this adds some pretty awesome things. First up, we have the first round of wearables. So if you open up your inventory, you can now see that there is a new tab for outfits. And yeah, so plain clothing. Yeah, okay, I'll give them that. Plain clothing, that is about as plain as you can get a loincloth. But you can actually change the color of said loincloth now. And if you are a Gleam Club member, you can do even advanced tinting. So I've already played a little bit around with it. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. But there's this particular, where is it? So get all the way down here to black. And yeah, so they kind of show off the advanced tinting here. So you have the high, mid, and low. And as you can see, they're all black right now. So we can take, like, say this high tint, and yeah, that makes a huge difference. So we're changing essentially the highlights. The mid, of course, is going to be the main color, and then the low is kind of like the shadowed areas. It's pretty hard to get the low tint to really stand out unless you're doing a really crazy contrast. So now it's like the shadows are brighter than the rest of the loincloth, I guess. So it looks pretty crazy. You can make some really crazy looking stuff, but you can make some really awesome looking stuff at the same times. It does take a tint kit to apply these, so like if I exit out, this of course won't stick unless I use my tint kit. Those can be attained through the exchange for 200 cubits, which really is pretty cheap compared to some of the other things. So, and if you're level 50, then that's not even all of your cubits that you get from a level 50 plus. And of course, the Adventurer's Mask is the same way. You can pick just a overarching tint like this, or if you're a Gleam Club member, you can do the advanced tinting. So let's see what, let's see, here is the high tint with the deep orange. So yeah, it's a little too bright up there. So there may be a darker, ooh, what was that? Oh, maybe it was the strong orange. Yeah, I keep trying to go with the, yeah, that looks pretty, that looks pretty awesome. Yeah, pretty awesome. And yeah, we can head over to the exchange. There's actually 11 new masks. So let's see here. Oh yeah, outfits. So we got this awesome crystalline thing. It would be pretty awesome to be able to like preview this, but it doesn't look, oh wow, okay, so you can right click on these to preview how they look. That, perfect. So yeah, I thought that was going to be the one thing that was missing here. So, ooh, yeah, maybe for a female character that looks a little like drag queen for, okay, well, but yeah, that is pretty awesome. That, ooh, I know it's not gonna do it, but I have to say, like, come on, give us some water breathing with that or something. So that is pretty awesome. So too bad I can't like preview how the tinting works. Or can I? I don't see any way of doing that. But yeah, here we go. Here you go, Sulphur Blade. Sulphur Blade has been, you know, wishing and complaining about needing sunglasses because yeah, he wants to look directly into the sun or the stars and not have it like be all glary. But come on, you're looking into a star. It's gonna be bright. But yeah, I can certainly appreciate is, oh wow, get all Caesar there. Ooh, the monocle shattered. Ooh, that's interesting. It's kind of like ethereal looking. So, ooh, okay. So maybe not quite my taste, but that's pretty interesting too. So that is pretty awesome. This is not the first time I've looked at these, but yeah, it's the first time I'm figuring out that you can actually right-click these to preview them. So that is amazing. And speaking of tinting and Gleam Club membership, there has been a major quality of life improvement for Gleam Club, at least if you like to use the chat colors. So now, previously you could do like colon, hashtag, type in a hex code, and then another colon, and then type in whatever you want, and it would be in that color. However, you had to do it every single time you wanted to say something. So it was actually kind of awful unless you wanted to make some sort of script that every time you hit T or enter, it would auto type in that code. That's how I was doing it. But now you can do it once and it remembers it, not only for that play session, but future play sessions. So now when I talk, let's type in some random stuff here. It's that beautiful lime green. Another thing is that you can come over here, find a tint that you like, and you just do a colon, hashtag, type in the name. So we have oxide gray. This is probably not going to look very good. But yeah, so we got a really dark gray text there. It's not very readable, but you can experiment with all these different colors. You have 255 to experiment. There is, I think it's a luminous turquoise is actually very readable. However, you can still use the hex codes, so that is pretty awesome. So let's jump over to the web browser. This is just the Wikipedia page, and this line, that's what I use, so it would be a hashtag 00F00. This aqua is also very readable. It's a very nice bright teal, or I guess aqua, but yeah, so that works amazing. So I'm just gonna go ahead, let's see here, copy this, Control C, let's come back over to the game, hit T, do our colon, paste that in, another colon, enter, and now when I type, it's in that beautiful vibrant green. I did a lot of kind of testing of these different tints over here, and I couldn't really find a vibrant green that matched that, so I was very happy to see that the hex codes for the colors still work. So cosmetics aside, as awesome as they are, there's actually some really amazing quality of life things that have been added, namely the assistant scanner, and at least for controllers, a bit of auto aim. The auto aim for controllers, it's not hugely strong, but if you are in combat, if you're outside of combat, you get no auto aim. But if you're in combat, you get a little bit of auto aim. So if your crosshair is kind of close to a creature and you're moving side to side, it will kind of turn your camera a little bit for you to keep you in the general vicinity of targeting that creature. So that is pretty awesome. I did a meteor and it felt pretty good. I'm not like an expert with a controller, but I'm also no stranger to it, and I actually felt more hindered by trying to double tap the joystick to run quickly. Like, I'm used to a keyboard, so a double press of a strafing key or a forward key is a lot easier than trying to do the same thing of a joystick, but that has to do with my own familiarity with the keyboard. But yeah, if you're basically now you no longer have to guess if you have the right over aim, because if a crossbow has an arc, you actually have to aim over the head of your target a little bit to actually be able to hit it. So now, as you can see, the crosshair turns red when it's going to hit. Also, amazingly, bombs for both assisting other players and damaging creatures have a great amount of improvement. So if it's basically within the blast radius of the bomb, or at least decently close to the enemy, it will go ahead and blow up, even if it would miss otherwise. So the actual physical bomb no longer has to actually physically hit the creature or player. So if you're throwing like a healing bomb and you just kind of get in the vicinity of the player, it will go ahead and blow up, and hopefully you'll no longer have that, like on your screen you hit the player and it heals them, but then the server goes, oh wait, but the player was really over here and they don't get the heal after all. So that will be amazing for healers, and also people just using bombs to actually as weapons for a change, instead of just blowing up the terrain. But the actual assistance, or the actual aiming assistance, like the little red crosshair, doesn't work too great for bombs, but considering you only have to kind of get it in the general vicinity, see, like that would have missed outright because it was off to the side, but as you can see, it blew up anyway, killing that Cuddle Trunk. So that is amazing. Also, this takes a lot of the guesswork out of trying to snipe the Roadrunners, because you just kind of you think you're in range and kind of look up and down, and oh yeah, there's the sweet spot, and there you go, you have a dead Roadrunner. So amazing. So for controller users, there's a whole host of new options. For one thing, if you don't like that auto aim and you find it gets in your way, you can turn it off. So that is amazing. The controller also has look sensitivity for both X and Y. So now if you want your, say your Y or your up or down to be a little bit less sensitive than say your X, you can do that. So that is pretty awesome. There is also now controller look acceleration. By default, this is turned on. So this allows you to have fine-tuned aiming while still being able to turn around quite fast. So in my initial testing, this felt pretty good, but of course you can turn this off if this is something you don't like. So pretty amazing quality of life for controller users there, as well as mouse and keyboard users with just the aim assistance. So that is pretty awesome. Okay, in atmosphere protections, I've seen a little bit of simplification. Basically now it's either you have enough or you kind of don't have enough. It's a little bit more complicated than that, I guess, but if you come over here, and yeah, it should give me eventually, there we go, a little debuff with a 3. So apparently I need at least 3 atmospheric protection points into the caustic protection, which we come over here and you see I have absolutely none. So right here I have no caustic protection, so it looks like I would need 3 points to be able to survive here. Once I have those 3 points, this extreme weather will go away. As it wears off, the extreme weather will gradually come back, kind of giving you a little nudge that either you need to eat some food that gives you some extra protection, which that is the other thing, you can actually eat protecting food to recharge your buff. So that is pretty amazing. So you could just bring some food along with you to help protect you from these toxic atmospheres instead of having to dump points over here. But if we come over here, I do have a little bit of protection for this planet, but as you can see, yeah, I still need 1 more point to be able to fend off this atmosphere. And look right here, see I only have 2, so I would need at least 3 points to properly protect myself. Let's see what happens when I add a point here. Firm selection. There we go. Breath meter fills up. Weather is going away. Aw, look at that. That is just awesome. So, yeah, that is pretty cool. And it looks like, wow, okay. So I don't even have a buff. I don't know, let's leave the planet and come back. So there we go, we got our damage debuff going there. Come over here. So yeah, it looks like if you have enough to fend off the atmosphere that you don't have to worry about it ever wearing out. So that is actually pretty awesome, unless I'm missing something here, maybe this is a bug, but that's pretty awesome. So let's come over here to the tier 6. Wow, I can't even see the portal. There it is. Okay. So now we're on Shadow tier, the toxic planet, and one of these, here we go. So yeah, I need another 2 points into, wow, look at that breath bar. That is pretty awesome weather effects. But yeah, so yeah, I need another 2 points to be able to survive here. Yeah, why not? Let's go ahead and spend 2 more points, or let's just, 1 more point. So, okay. So I only need 4 to be able to survive here. So that was maybe a little bit misleading. But that is good to know that 4 will be enough to last you here. So nice, all the extreme weather effects are gone now, and we can actually hope to play here. So, yeah, pretty interesting. We also have this awesome Welcome to Boundless type screen right here, and possibly the first official bit of like actual in-game lore other than like maybe some prefabs littered across the planets. But yeah, we have welcome to Boundless. Thank you, citizen, for joining the great transmigration. Your journey to these untamed worlds will ensure the survival of our people. Colonize these lands as best you can, build a civilization, uncover new resources, and create travel links across the universe. You will start with nothing but your trusty totem. Go forth and uncover the mysteries of the known worlds and the Ort who came before you. The rest, as they say, is up to you. So, pretty awesome. Doesn't really tell us much of anything other than we're in a transmigration. We're trying to ensure the survival of our civilization, and there's this mysterious Ort race that came before us. Are they our long lost ancestors or a completely different race? Who knows? This is hopefully the first of some more kind of in-game lore to be added, but pretty awesome all the same. And yeah, so the rest is kind of the normal character creation. Added to the quality of life benefits, the HUD has seen a number of improvements. For one thing, now from the character menu, there is a whole new tab just for friends. So you no longer have to open up character menu, go to character, page over, because you're probably looking at your skill tree. Yeah, you just go to character menu and you can page over to friends, and here are all your friends. That is pretty nice, I have to say. So a lot easier to get to your friend list. Another awesome improvement is now when you're looking at warp conduits and these locations, it now lists the normal information, of course, but also some extra world info. So server region USA East, so that'll give you some idea just based off of where that server is as to the connection you might expect. Personally, I don't have a problem connecting to any of the worlds, but say the Australian servers, you're naturally going to have a higher ping, and if you don't have a great connection to that server, you might not have a great play experience. So now you can see right here what you're getting ready to get yourself into. There's also world info, so it's a level 4 inhospitable cold world. So if you're familiar, level 4 and up, you're going to need some sort of atmospheric protection. So let's see here. Let's go find a elemental world somewhere. Here we go. And so yeah, world, there we go, turbulent chill world. So that tells me right there I need the chill resistance, so very, very nice. Also tells you how many active citizens. So if you're looking at a world and it's got 99 active citizens and there can only be 100 on a planet at any given time, they'll probably, well, that might not be the best play experience just because it's so overpopulated. So that is pretty nice. Following the user interface, quality of life improvements, now doors no longer show up as interactable if they are locked. So this is somebody else's build and they have locked their door. It no longer tells me I can interact with it. I can go ahead and try to interact with it and it just tells me, oh, I don't have permissions, that it's locked. So that is pretty awesome. So now it's no longer, oh, I can interact with this. No, I can't interact with it. So this might even extend to player machines. I don't know if there's a way to get into this, guys. Ooh, oh, maybe, no, maybe. Well, no, oh, yes, we can. Okay, so yeah, it no longer tells me that I can interact with this machines because guess what? I can't. So I can try, but it just gives me the error message. And so yeah, that is pretty nice to not constantly have that popping up in your face when in fact you can't interact with the actual stuff. So now it will be a lot clearer what you can and cannot do in somebody else's build, so that is very nice. Another small quality of life improvement, or well, might be huge if you run into this issue a lot, is that previously you could open up doors, and if you were kind of standing where it was and it would maybe smash you against the wall, it could actually trap you, and maybe the auto stuck teleport would trigger, throwing you random places either up or maybe off to the side. But now if you try to open up a door in such a situation, it tells you, oh, there's a creature or citizen in the way. So you can no longer trap yourself with doors. Also, when you place blocks, they now reflect their actual physical characteristics. So say the shop stand, it's actually a half slab. So if you're standing on a half slab, you can go ahead and place it down. Normally you wouldn't be able to place that because I'm technically standing inside of this block space. And this even extends to things like Sparklink. So right here, if you're familiar, Sparklink is physically smaller than an entire block. So we can get right up here, right up in its face. We're inside its normal block space, and we can place another one. So that is pretty amazing. Normally you would have to back up and get completely out of that block area. So fortunately that little hologram doesn't stay up, but yeah, you get the idea. So that is pretty nice. Experience gain and progression has seen a bit of tweaking as well. So if you're familiar with some of the cheesier ways to level, like running around and chiseling the ground as you're hunting, or going out and spam placing blocks, yeah, all of that has basically been removed outside of beacons. So placing stones will still give me some experience inside of a beacon. However, lower quality materials will give less experience than placing higher quality materials. So let's get out, say, some compacted diamond and see. So that rock gave me 6 experience. This is going to give me 16 experience. So very nice. So that balances out. Build with nicer stuff, you get more experience. The nicer stuff is sometimes at least harder to break. So it also balances out, so you can't just spam place it and re-break it or something like that to try to level up quickly. And yeah, if you place blocks outside of a beacon, like I said, you get no experience. Let's come out here, try to find a spot that I do not have beaconed. Here we go. And yeah, place down this diamond block, no experience whatsoever. So let's go ahead and pick this back up before somebody else decides to take it. And yeah, same for chiseling. So if you chisel outside of your beacon, you no longer get experience. And yeah, so you could still, I guess, inside your beacon chisel up a whole bunch of stuff, but this should prevent the world becoming nothing but a mess of chiseled ground and ugliness. So very nice change. Also, the EXP has been modified for many of the blocks, so now trunks and rocks, gravel, the really basic stuff, that is only 1 EXP per block. It was kind of found that, like, if you just had a really hard hitting or a really fast, or preferably both fast and hard hitting hammer, that it was a little overpowered how much experience you could gain. But to kind of counterbalance this, gathering resources has had their EXP gain buffed as well. So you get less for breaking rock and wood and things like that, but you get more for breaking the resources. So let's see here. Let's break this resource. That's 12 experience. Break the rock. That's only 1 extra resource, or 1 extra experience. So a necessary evil, but also surface resources had their EXP buffed, as well as there's kind of a range of experience. So the basic surface resources give less experience, whereas the more advanced surface resources give more. So that is pretty awesome. So all in all, some pretty nice changes to experience. Also, bomb mining, breaking blocks with bombs no longer gives experience. However, since you would only be getting 1 EXP for every block broke, as far as rocks, it's really not that big of a deal. And now that resource nodes give more experience, it probably won't be as big of a deal as you might be thinking. Certainly, it is a nerf to the EXP gain to bomb mining, but it's not really the end of the world, and it was a little bit overpowered in general. But speaking about overpowered and nerfs, hunting has actually seen buffs. So if you're unfamiliar, previous to the launch of Boundless, hunting was pretty OP because all you had to do was like touch the mob and you got the full experience for the mob. So everybody would say get 100 experience from a wild stock if a wild stock gave 100 experience. They then changed that to where you got a percentage of that experience based off of your contribution. So if you did a lot of damage, or you did a lot of tanking or a lot of healing, you would get a percentage of that experience, but it basically made hunting in groups non-feasible for leveling. So hunting in groups has seen a buff as far as experience gain, so hopefully that will make hunting a more viable way to level, especially in groups. Solo hunting was still a pretty decent way to level, but hopefully this will greatly improve the benefits of being in a group and doing meteors. So I can't wait to get in a hunt and see the difference. Another awesome thing is that if you're a fan of the Gathering Epic and gathering up all the different surface resources and decorating your builds with them, they now not only award EXP for placing them down, not like anything crazy, but it also helps the prestige of your build. So instead of taking away or doing nothing to your prestige, having surface resources placed inside of your beacon will now give you a little bit of experience and boost the prestige of your build. So that is very nice. Okay, I think that covers the changes in 198 pretty well. As always, I'm sure there's things I've missed. One thing I did notice that I did not see in the patch notes, it might have been there, I just didn't read the fine print enough, is that the animation for bringing up an atlas is now a lot smoother. And yeah, before it almost teleported up into your face. It was a little bit jarring. It still kind of goes down pretty fast, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. But yeah, that's pretty awesome. But there's also been a whole host of bug fixes, so if there was a particular annoying bug, hopefully it's fixed for you now. But yeah, pretty awesome patch, I have to say. Very nice. Anyway, this was Javita. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more like this, and if there's anything you didn't like, please let me know down below. Also, if you like my channel, want to get cool perks, check out my Patreon page. Until next time, peace.